Hello and welcome back to my session. As you all know, I talk about real life situations and experiences which we face every single day, and I try to talk about it so that you can either speak with me or repeat after me, or you can take that idea and you can speak on your own, or you can come up with your own description or your own story and talk about that incident or event or experience, right? Guys, this is really going to help you a lot with your English speaking. This way, you're going to gain fluency and confidence. This is the best way to practice English speaking because we are talking about day to day, everyday, real life conversations, right? We go out and we talk to people on various events which has happened with us, which we have experienced or which we are experiencing, right? So here I'm taking those experiences and those events and talking about it so that you can also talk with me, right, about the same. So once you start speaking to yourself or practice speaking in this way, it will be easier for you to go out and speak with others also on the same lines or on the same topics, right? So that is why I'm trying to make your life easier, and if you practice on these lines, definitely you are going to be fluent and confident in no time. So guys, welcome back to my channel. I'm your communications coach and a soft skill trainer by profession, and I'm here to help you out with all your communications problems and to help you speak English fluently and confidently. Today I'm going to share with you some funny incidences which has happened with me. I'm going to share those funny stories with you as well so that you can also laugh out loud and be cheerful and enjoy my session as well. Well, but that's not it. You have to also come up with your own funny instances and start speaking on it. Okay, so that you can make others also laugh. So don't keep these funny moments with yourself. Go out to the world and start speaking about it and make others laugh as well. There's no harm in doing that, right? So let's get started. The first thing which many times which happens to me is I'm quite a talkative person, right? If I start talking to people, I get so engrossed in that. So one day what happened, my brother was here and we had to go out for something. We just had to go and get something probably from outside, which was very near to our place. So he was driving the car and I was sitting with him. So it was very nearby to my place. So he asked me whether he should put the GPS. I said, no, 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 of course, I know, I'll guide you. And we went and we were having a discussion on some topic, very interesting topic. I don't remember the topic right now. So we were having this conversation on this very interesting topic. And suddenly after some time, he asked me like, should I take a left or a right? And since I was so engrossed in talking to him, I just said left. I showed my hand right and I was saying left. And basically he has to take left. So I was saying left, but I did my hand movement to the right side. And he was like, he started taking right. I said, stop, stop, you have to take left. Why are you taking right? He said, and again I was doing this. I was like, wait, stop, stop. Why are you taking right? You have to take left. And I was saying like this, like my right hand pointing towards the direction, and I was saying left. And then he suddenly stopped the car and said, man, are you out of your mind? You are saying right or left? You're confusing me. Your hand movement, you're showing your hand to the right side and you're saying left. What should I do? And I was like, really? And then I understood that okay, my hand movement was towards the right and I was saying left. So I was like, oh, I'm so sorry. No, you have to take left. No, you have to take left. And then we went. So that was a funny incident. And I think this has happened to me quite a few times more. One or two times more it has happened to me. Like I was saying right and I was making left hand movement, and sometimes I was saying right and then the hand movement was the left side. So it was not very voluntarily I did. It was just I was engrossed in something, and my hands, I do use a lot of my hand movement. So probably I used the wrong hand and I was saying something else. So this has happened to me a lot many times, and this was one incident which has happened very recently with me, with my brother, and he was so pissed off with me, trust me on that. Because he has to stop the car and say whether it is right or left, tell me once and for all. Or should I switch on the GPS? I was like, no, we have to go left. So this was a funny incident which has happened to me. Another one is, I remember I went for my friend's wedding, and this was in a small village. So they had this rule that the lunch time is fixed. So as a North Indian, I didn't knew all these rules. So we went to the wedding. We were a little late, but then we attended the wedding, the all the functions, whatever happened, we attended everything. And the wedding was over, and we suddenly saw that the people were not there. The hall was completely empty, so we couldn't make out. We thought maybe everybody was have taken a break probably. And then we got hungry, so we thought of going and eating something, and we didn't know where the food stalls were. So we asked somebody, and they guided us, like, you have to go downstairs and there's a hall, and you'll get the food there. We went there. There was nothing. So we asked somebody that, we want to eat something. We want to have food. Where is the stalls? Where are the stalls? And the person said, the lunch time is over. Now there's no lunch available. And we were like, what? We are in a wedding and the lunch is over and we are not able to eat food. And it was so surprising for us. We came back and were so hungry at the time. And then we waited for some more time. And then when everything was over, and then we left in the evening finally, and then we stopped at a restaurant and we ate something. And then finally we were able to eat something. So that was another incident which was like very funny incident for us, because you're going for a wedding. Of course, the wedding food is something we all crave to eat, right? We all love wedding food. But when we went there and we got to know that the food is over and the timing is over, and we were like shocked. What? So that was another incident which has happened to me, which was quite funny. But we have learned, like, every incident which happens to us, whether it is funny or not, we learn something new, right? We learn something. So it's always learnings, guys. So we have to learn something new from every experience and every incident which happens to us. One more incident which I remember, which is of my childhood. We used to live in a joint family, so we were quite a group of people there. So we used to go to school. We used to live in a joint family. So we were 4 children in total. 2 were my cousins, and 1 was me, and the other was my brother. So we used to go together to school, and we used to come back together. So we came back, and the lunch was served, and I changed and came immediately to eat lunch. And while I was going to sit on the chair, what he did was, the time I was going to sit on the chair, he slided the chair back, and I fell down on the floor. And I was so embarrassed. I was not expecting that, guys. I was so embarrassed and I started crying. I was small, of course, but I started crying. And everybody came, what happened? What happened? I was like, I fell down. I told the name of my brother, like, he slid the chair and I fell down. And my brother said, I was just having fun with you. It's okay. I mean, you didn't get hurt much, right? And I was like, no, I got hurt. Why did you do that? And I started crying so loudly that everybody started scolding him. And then finally the scene was over. I was like, no, I am not going to eat lunch. I was so embarrassed that I started saying, I'll not eat lunch now. Why did you do that? And then finally said sorry. And then I had my lunch, and then everything was normal. So that was another funny incident which has happened to me, which I can never forget in my lifetime. So guys, in the same way, of course, everybody has some small experiences which are funny, which are not so funny, which are quite disheartening or quite sad as well. So whatever incidences you have experienced, whatever events you have experienced, start talking about it, right? These are things which you know a lot about, and it will be easy for you to describe them in words, right? So take my example, like how I've spoken about things. You can cook your own stories. You can come up with your own description and start describing things. These are the best ways to practice real life conversations, right? When you go out, when you meet people, you exchange all these things, right? You exchange about your experiences, you exchange about any events which happened in your life, or anything you have attended, or any experience you have had, right? You talk about all these things. So if you're in practice, if you will be practicing all these things in real life or on your own, it will be easy for you to go out and speak about it in English with others, right? Like how we say that, for interviews you have to prepare beforehand, make a list of questions, make a list of come up with answers, and start practicing that. Once you do that, it will be easier for you to go and attend the interviews, right? The same way, start doing these things, start coming up with small experiences, moments and incidences, and start coming up with a story, start describing that. Try on your own first, right? And once you get into a habit of doing this, go out and start speaking to your friends, to your family members, and whoever you meet. It will be very easy for you, and in no time you will be fluent and confident in speaking English. And start making simple sentences, guys. I try to simplify everything for you. When I speak, I make sure that I speak in simple English. I make sure that there is no complex sentences which I use, so that it's easier for you to understand. Try and understand what I'm trying to talk about and start describing on your own, right? So guys, there's no shortcut to practice. You have to start practicing from today. Take these examples and start your English journey, English speaking journey. See you. Bye bye.